Hello, Transformers and Blokees fans. This is Speedball, and today for you guys, I have for you the third volume in the Blokees Transformers Defenders series. And if you are wondering, yes, this is the final volume to collect and complete their Defender scale Devastator. However, though, I must add some information to that because unfortunately there were a number of changes before this set was released. And that is, unfortunately, friends, after Volume 2, we were originally planned to see the complete setup for Devastator in this volume, including the accessory part set that you will need to complete Devastator with the vehicles. However, unfortunately, due to a licensing reason, Blokees was unable to actually sell the parts with the volume, unfortunately. And for those who are wondering why in that situation, well, I can't confirm this honestly, but it is a theory that many of us have pretty much believe is about correct, is that due to the timing of this release for Devastator and Hasbro's new Devastator toy release, it seems to be the case that the timing just didn't work well, so they didn't want the Blokees Devastator to come right at the same time. So they told Blokees no, at least for a while. However, I do have good news. Because some time has passed and such, Blokees has now been given the licensing right to sell the originally Devastator parts exclusive now globally. So yes, if you were wondering how can you get the parts, no worries. Blokees is already listing and releasing the parts globally on many platforms and such, including like their main website and other such sites that work with them. I don't have them all offhand, I do apologize, but I do know a number like from the UK and other such areas will have the parts set soon enough. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they should be releasing them next month, in September specifically, because if I had the parts now, my friends, I would actually be reviewing Volume 3 and Devastator together, guys, but unfortunately, I don't even have the parts yet, so yeah. So today, my friends, we will now focus directly on the volume itself. Now, what did this volume give us compared to the previous volumes that makes this volume fun to collect? Well, actually, a good number of things. Outside of course, the completion of Devastator, we did get a number of other characters in this volume I know a lot of fans enjoyed. For example, if you've ever wondered what Shockwave looked in Defender scale, well, now you do, because he was actually the clear unit in this volume, which, for many who don't know this, pretty much it's just a staple now in every Defenders volume that there's at least one character that gets a clear release, which is interesting because that clear unit ends up being in the following volume. So yes, if you're waiting for a solid version instead of this clear version, well, there will be one at a point and such. But honestly, this clear version is pretty cool. It's definitely fun to have, and you can never have too many Shockwaves, am I right? Plus, it's really cool how they actually added this wire piece at this size. It's so cool. I love that. It's just a small, fun gimmick, but it's so cool. And not just him. If you're a Wave fan, well, don't worry. We finally have our standard color Soundwave from the previous gold version. And yes, this is a really cool Soundwave to collect as well. And of course, if you don't already know this, as you can see on the box here, Soundwave is actually one of the chase rare units. And for those who might not know what that means, simply put, for the Defenders series, each volume will come with two selected rares, meaning that two characters will be printed in multiple versions, and Soundwave was one of them. And the other was Grimlock here, as you can see in his very metallic self, which is in his case the rare version. So yes, I pulled him for my rare because each case volume you might get, you will only get one rare, unfortunately, but there are 4 possible rares you can get. You have your standards and you have your super rares, which are also a lot of fans call the armor gimmicked ones, which usually come with like a special weapon, accessory, and so forth. And for these two, Soundwaves was interesting, especially because he didn't come with like any special weapon. No, we're talking about Soundwave, so of course he came with his most well-known accessories, and that is he came with 2 Defender scale cassettes. Yes, we have Defender scale cassettes now. And they were Laserbeak and Ravage. And that's the interesting too, is because his rare version also comes with Ravage. So it's only the super rare that comes with Laserbeak, which he just attaches up here, which is very interesting how they designed that. I definitely have to admit that. Unfortunately, I just don't have him here right now, guys. Sorry. But I'm okay with it. And as for Grimlock, besides his metallic version, as you can see here, you also have his super rare version, which is just pretty much this, in a sense, different visor piece, and a new backpack, actually, because instead of his dino pack here, you actually get an interesting accessory because it's not an actual weapon, it's actually a fellow Dinobot. Yes, it is Swoop. Yes, we get Swoop as his backpack. I I mean that is an interesting idea, I won't lie. I mean I won't lie, friends, I was sort of expecting to see something like from War for Cybertron, you know, one of his really cool variation weapons and such, which they've done before with other characters. So yeah, I was sort of expecting that, I won't lie. But a swoop pack isn't bad either. It's really cool. I do like that. And what else? Who else do we get that was new? Well, first let's go through the recolors, of course. We got our third of the Seeker brothers. We have Skywarp. He's always the third one. Am I right, guys? He just always comes last. I don't know why. Well, yes, we finally have our good buddy Skywarp to go with Thundercracker and Starscream. Awesome. And of course, at some point, I'm sure we'll get other Seekers to join them. We also got, for this volume, the gold unit, which was Megatron. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this was a bit of an odd one in this case because a lot of the times the gold units we get would end up being the following volume's rare units. But since Megatron already has one, yeah, it was interesting in this case that they picked him. And they added clear pieces to him as well compared to the others. But it's all right. I mean, it's of course representing the Golden Lagoon version, so it's awesome to see him in this scale. What else do we get? So, and of course, for our shattered glass units, because for many who might not know this, each volume usually has 1 to 2 shattered glass units. And yes, we finally have our shattered glass Optimus Prime with that really cool damaged look on him, which is always fun to see. So yes, if you're wondering how many more Optimuses can we get, well, I mean, technically, there's probably a few more, so don't be surprised. But this is really cool to have. And yes, just as we did with Optimus, we also got the Shattered Glass Alt mode, which is definitely fun to have. And even the damaged window piece, it's so cool. I like it. And just like his first release, he comes with the exact same setup and accessories. You can plant one of your bots on his back to ride it through, which is really fun to have. It's just a fun little gimmick. Reminds me a lot of the Action Master series for that. Now, for new units outside of ones I've already mentioned, we also have some other favorites that is just cool to have, like our good buddy Jazz. Yes, we have Jazz, guys, in Defender skin. Look at that happy face. He's just chilled out and awesome, isn't I right? And he comes with, instead of a gun, a blowhorn piece. That is so cool. Though I could, and it makes sense because of course it's Jazz. So that's so cool. Which also means at some point we're probably going to get variations, of course, for Jazz, and probably his Shattered Glass version at some point, which definitely can't wait to check that one out. And another interesting one no one saw coming because a lot of fans were thinking this volume we were going to be introducing some Beast Wars when the original leaked pictures were seen. But nope, we instead got the future Prime to be Hot Rod. Now, he was so cool to see. I was so stoked for this because this means Blokees is finally moving into the movie slash season 3, season 4 of the G1 series, which is so cool. And as you can see, he comes with his classic weapon here. This is an awesome blaster, I have to admit. And he comes with his movie accurate arm saw, which actually spins, if you're wondering. Yes, it does spin. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't come with a little fishy we could, chop up with it. Unfortunately, too, as well, if you're wondering, no, there's no swappable hand if you're wanting to replace it. So this is his only other hand. But of course, you can technically swap them with any other of the Defenders unit, or if you have one with a silver hand, if you want to swap with, just a heads up. But honestly, this version is really cool, and I'm hoping that we will see Rodimus come soon because I mean, we just have to. I mean, Rodimus would be awesome to see in this scale. So yes, that is the full lineup here, my friends, and honestly, this is a fun volume to collect. It may not be as big as the previous volumes have been, but it's still a cool one because there's certain characters that are really fun to have. Plus, of course, the Devastator units. And speaking, of course, of that, let's take a quick look at them as well. These are really cool playable truck toys, of course. They do roll, if you're wondering. Now, of course, that doesn't dump back or anything like that. But it is really cool to see how they designed the vehicles and how, of course, they will combine. As you can see here, it's really fun to play with. And if you're wondering like how certain characters will transform, like you see here with Mixmaster, he of course will form a flag, of course, and this is of course how you would transform him for that, if you were wondering. And of course our leader, Scrapper. Now I'll never understand that with the with our Constructicons, why Scrapper will always be a foot in this case compared to all the other combiners. But yeah, that's just a thing. But it's still cool to see how they designed his as well, fully articulated, and just like I showed you, wheels do move, so you can roll them around anywhere you want. And you know, it's just so cool. I love it. And yeah, now a quick question many have actually asked me before about is what will you need to complete the Devastator in this setup? Well, as I already mentioned about the parts set, you will need that no matter what. Vehicle-wise, you will of course need these 3 from Volume 3. You will of course need these 2 from Volume 2. And you will need this little guy from Volume 1. And of course, once you have, plus the parts set, voila, you got yourself a Devastator. And I cannot wait because I'm hoping this means that with the completion of Devastator, that future Defender scale combiners will continue with the following volumes that will come after this one. I can't wait. I mean, who do you think we'll get, guys? If there's any specific combiner you guys want to see, please post in the comments. It'd be awesome to see. So yes, that is pretty much it for today, guys. So if you're wondering what would I recommend, absolutely. I mean, you pretty much have to if you're collecting Devastator, of course. And if you're just someone that's looking for like wave characters, Seekers, Dinobots, or future primes to be, this volume definitely gives you all of that. And we'll see what the next volume will give us, of course, to add to this. But for today, my friends, yes, I can definitely recommend this volume to you guys with no problem. So yes, I hope you guys are, of course, enjoying your hobbies. I do hope you're enjoying your Blokees addiction as well as I am. And of course, I will gladly see you all next time.